Once upon a time, two lovers gave themselves so completely that being itself forged a creation more beautiful than the bluest sky, the most radiant rainbow, and the most spectacular supernova. A single human soul. In the ancient time of September 1999, shortly after the release of the Iron Giant, I was conceived. Now, growing up, I didn't really have an idea of what made me so different. But starting my first day at a Head Start, however, was a real pain in the neck for my mom and dad. I would cry, yell, scream, and even one time I was spinning around doing all three like some Beyblade who just escaped from the deepest pit of no life. I was a mess, and I think my parents and would-be teachers understood that. I mean, could I really blame myself? I mean, think about it. For the first few years of my life, I lived like a king. I laid on a crib bed next to my parents, watching PBS Kids and drinking milk seasoned and shaked with chocolate Nesquik, the Greek nectar for babies. I was comfortable in my little world with my little bottle, my little TV, my little blanket, and my little blue balloon that had my name on it with a little angel below sleeping in my little bed. So you can imagine my shock when my parents took me out of the house, took me on a sunny street with actual real-life plants, and placed me in a box inside another box filled with other people. But they weren't me or my parents. And they were leaving me here, alone with these other people, with nothing to defend myself. So yeah, I cried multiple times. I'm not sure when I stopped being a little Beyblade, but I think after a few days, I stopped crying when I saw little kids playing with puzzles and realized nothing bad was going to happen. We would play, do activities, eat food, my parents would come back, and things were going to be okay. Now, I don't really remember much about my memories at Catholic Charities, which is probably to their credit. It's like trying to pick out things out of a blurry whirlpool of light mixed with shapes of blue, red, yellow, green, and brown. However, I do remember three notable preschool memories. Sometimes my dad and I would carry a little red envelope that we would drop in the mailbox. The name on the envelope? Netflix. Yup, it was the early to mid 2000s and movie rentals were still a thing. In fact, they were still such a thing that even years later, my dad and I would drive to a Blockbuster and rent out things like a Ratatouille game for the Wii. I could still vaguely remember the rows of movies and taste that gumball I got from machine either inside the store or just outside on a blue night. Anyways, back to focus. The second memory I had was when I saw a kid acting weird and he bit into my arm really hard. I let him bite me until he tore through my flesh and left a wound there, and I didn't get upset over it until my mom saw it. So yeah, my dad leaving me at school, I'm a wreck. But a kid actively wounding me, nah, son. Just a more intense pitch. He'll stop. The final memory was when my teacher and my classmates got together to have food, and our drink was grape juice served in a nice foam cup. This wasn't hyper-sugarized milk or flavorless water in a plastic bottle. This felt special. And it had a feeling of being just a bit more natural than processed chocolate dust in plastic. This was gourmet food for a preschooler. So yeah, welcome to preschool. We got grape juice and cannibalism, just like ancient mythology.